Hey there, today we're going to be making a delicious chocolate peanut butter mousse, entirely plant-based, refined sugar-free, and high protein. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Stacey and I love sharing information about being healthy, fit, and fabulous at any and every age. And I'm really into plant-based cooking and I love sharing my recipes with you. So today we're going to start with some silken tofu. This is the Mori-Nu silken tofu extra firm. It's shelf stable, which means you don't have to keep it in the refrigerator and you can order it online. We're going to be making it peanut buttery, yet still low cal by using PB2 Pure. Now you can use any PB2 or any powdered peanut butter you like. I like this pure one because it doesn't have any added salt or sugar. Now I am also going to be adding a little salt because I don't have an issue with salt, but if you do, this is really the way to go because there's no added salt, no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners. We're going to be making it chocolatey with cacao powder. So delicious, high in magnesium, and everything's better in chocolate in my opinion. Now, I've made it before using monk fruit sweetener, which is delicious, but today, because I'm really trying to cut back on any sort of artificial sweeteners, I'm going to try using it with date paste. You could also try using it with maple syrup. You just might want to cut down a little bit on the liquid. So for the liquid, I'm going to be using an unsweetened vanilla almond milk, but if you have soy milk or oat milk or coconut milk, any plant-based milk that you prefer, you can use that. So to start, I'm just going to cut open this tofu, and I don't even press it, or I just quickly drain it. No long process because you're going to be adding some liquid anyway, so it doesn't have to be incredibly dry. But if there is a little liquid, you can just dump it out. But again, I'm not really that precise with it. And then I just add it to my bowl. Now, if you have a food processor or a high-speed blender, or even a pretty good blender, you could probably just make it right in the blender. My blender is not really that great. I'm in the process of looking for a new one, so I'm just gonna do it with a hand mixer. If you have an immersion blender, that could work as well, but I'm just gonna do it with a good old-fashioned hand mixer. So, just gonna add the tofu to the bowl. Then I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of the PB2. 1 cup, and I have a 1/2 cup here. Where I use a 1/2 cup of that, and then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of the cacao powder. Now you could also use regular unsweetened cocoa powder, but I find the raw cacao powder, just from what I've read, it's healthier, it's less processed, and I'm all about trying to cut out processed foods these days. So if you like it more chocolatey, add more. If you don't want it chocolatey and you just want it peanut buttery, you could just add more of the PB2. This recipe is really pretty flexible, which is great depending on the ingredients you have and what you like. So I add 1/2 cup of the cacao powder, and I'm gonna add some vanilla. I'm gonna do about 1 teaspoon of vanilla, but if you wanted to make it almondy, you could do an almond extract. Here I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And because I do like things a little bit salty, I'm gonna add some sea salt. You can leave that out if you are trying to cut back on your salt. And you could, if you want to use a sweetener such as this or a stevia or something like that, you could use 2 teaspoons of this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this date paste this time. We'll see how it turns out. And I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of this instead to keep it more natural and cut back on the liquid. So as I mentioned, I'm going to use some unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and normally I would say add 1.5 cups, but because this sweetener is a liquid, I'm going to use a little under 1.5 cups, and that's 1.5 cups of almond milk. Now we'll just mix it all together with a hand mixer, or again, you could use a blender or a Cuisinart or whatever type of mixing device you want. Because the tofu is soft, it really isn't too hard to blend. So once you're done mixing it, It looks something like this. I like to blend it for a while to make it really creamy and mousse-like. And then you just portion it out into individual servings. If you'd like, you can top it with some fresh berries or a little sprinkle of coconut or sliced almonds. I'd say it makes about 5 servings depending on how much you like to eat. I like to eat a lot of it, which is why I portion it out individually. And that's all there is to it. And now for the taste test. I've just put a small amount into this adorable Soul Sisters cup given to me by my beautiful friend Leslie, who is a big fan of my Stacey Slim Snacks. And now we try it. It is so rich and creamy and mousse-like and delicious. I hope you'll give this recipe a try and share it with your friends and family. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.